Guys, what made you realize this girl is definitely not into me? Gave a girl at work my number on a piece of paper and she handed it right back and said we talk at work all the time, so let's keep doing that. That sucks. But gotta give it to her. She ripped off the band-aid fast. No ambiguity in that rejection. We set up a date. She stood me up. When I asked her, she simply said she forgot. But there. Except she didn't even respond when I asked. Asked a girl if she wanted to grab lunch together sometime. She said she was busy that day, which was interesting as I never specified a day. I went out to a restaurant bar with 4 buddies. Some ladies sent over a round of drinks. To my 4 buddies. I'm guessing they must have specifically told the waiter give every one of those strangers a drink except Quasimodo in the corner there. Make sure he is painfully aware that he does not get a drink. Went to her apartment. Then I helped her with Tinder. I went to a chick's apartment once and she had another girlfriend of hers over and they spent a good amount of time rating dudes on Bumble. And proceeded to get about 50 matches in the 1.5 hours I was there. I was like, WTF am I doing here? Then got drunk and left via Uber. Back in college. I took a girl on a lunch date. We had a really nice time. When it was getting time to leave, I told her I had to get to work. She said, where do you work? I said McDonald's, and I literally could see her attitude shift in 1 second. Oh. Cool. So as I'm driving her home, I said, so can we hang out again? She replies, yeah, totally. So the next day I text and ask if she wants to hang. She never responded. Her mistake. She could be getting Big Macs and chicken nuggets all the time. Unless the girl directly says to me I am into you. Or some variation. I will assume. By default. That they are not into me. Uninterested until proven interested. She really only talked to me when she needed something. Damn, that hit home, my guy. Not a guy. But I was in a club and wanted to go to the bathroom. He kept pulling me back into his lap. I tried to explain and he wouldn't listen. So I peed in his lap. You have to assert your dominance. Asked her to senior prom. She said yes, but when we got there she ditched me to hang out with another guy she liked. Wasn't too bad though, cause I danced with another girl who I got along better with. Man, I always feel so bad for people like this. My senior prom. I had my friend who liked my former best friend. He never explicitly said, and they went to prom together. Literally an hour into prom. And she's making out with a dude in the ballroom while they're slow dancing. My friend went outside and just danced the whole night away to the band outside. We joined him because it was so much more fun and less hectic outside. I thought my former best friend had done such a huge itch move. The guy she was with she had liked since our sophomore year of high school. It was just so messed up. Oh snap. So. Last fall I went to class and ran into this really cute girl and I thought, hey, I'm gonna try to talk to her more, and over the next 2 weeks I found 0 openings until we were told to get in 2 groups for a project. Small class. But I wasn't in her group, so I asked her if it was cool if I joined her group because they seemed more serious than my other group. Bunch of losers. She said yes. So it was me, her best friend, and another girl I'd talked to for a bit. We agreed to meet up on Friday at the library. We talked a bit more before then and became friends. She's really touchy, so she'd grab my arm, lean on me etc. I thought she was into me. I show up early and she was there alone, so we began to talk, and she's so much like me. Has a weird sense of humor. Very smart. And super friendly. She even liked Dragon Ball. That's the dream. Her favorite Spider-Man movies were the originals and not the Holland ones. Then the other 2 girls arrive and I see her phone and her lock screen is of her best friend. The other girl comments AWW. Your best friend's your lock screen, and she says nope. My girlfriend's my lock screen. So that really made me realize she totally wasn't interested in me at all. Funny thing is, we all are still really good friends. We've tried to take classes together and she's helped me out when I had trouble. I accidentally ruined her surprise birthday party. We hung out while we could. She'd buy us lunch, invite us to her place, and we really have a good time together. Those 3 girls are the best friends I've made in university. It's kinda sad, but before I went like 6 months without anyone in college saying my name or even talking to me. They weren't mean. They were just not my friends. But I met these girls and I have a friend network. I have a constant study group and she's even helping me lose weight because I couldn't do it on my own. She wasn't into me, but I honestly couldn't care less. I'm way happier now than I was before I met her. Edit. Holy duck. I went to sleep and this blew up. Damn. Very mature of you. A friendship is not a lesser relationship to a girlfriend, it's just a different one. Good you realized this. When she used to give everyone hugs but only ever offered me a high five. Maybe because you live in a village and she's into city boys. Stopped texting first and realized that she never texted me for 3 days. It was totally one-sided. An actual girlfriend ran this experiment and found that I didn't text her for a week. Some people are just shit, i.e. me. My BF status didn't survive this experiment. But I learned from it. I told them I had feelings for them. They responded with, "I'm dying." Dying literally or just laughing? At a bar with some friends. My boy John starts trying to chat up this girl and her friends. I approach and try to wingman. This girl makes hard eye contact and says, "Well, it was great meeting you guys." Capital I. Of course. Say likewise and rag off John to go explain to his dumbass how to recognize when girls are politely telling you to duck off. We spent the day together. Slept together. She told me she loved me, then ducked her coworker at her Christmas party that evening. When you go in for a hug and she gives you the side hug. A classmate figured out another classmate and I were sleeping together because I'd give every woman the one-armed side hug and I gave her a bear hug and picked her up. She thought we would start making out right there. So our secret was out. Anyway. She ended up being the worst ducking person I ever met. When she asked me if I knew if my friend was interested in anybody. I was only just starting to maybe have a crush on her, so it didn't hurt. But like. Definitely wasn't pleasant lol. Yeah, I had something like that happen to me. A girl messaged me and was like, "So I have a question," and I was like, "What's up?" and she said, "Okay, I hope this isn't weird. But it's just been on my mind." And then after a little bit she texts, "Is Larry single?" He wasn't. I've heard them all. I like you as a friend. I think we should see other people. I know speak English. I'm married to the sea. I don't wanna heal you, but I will. I'm not gay. But I'll learn. I don't remember how we ended up talking. But I ended up asking her out to dinner and she said yes. We went. Ordered our food and ate. The entire time she was on her phone. So I just paid my bill and left. 10 or 15 minutes after I left she started blowing up my phone. Not to ask where I was. But to demand why I didn't pay for her food. I just responded by blocking her. Edit. Everyone calm the duck down, Jesus Christ. Don't give me awards. Instead please give the money to a charity. That way it'll actually help something. Okay, that made my morning lol. Seriously though, how rude to just be on your phone the whole time during a date as if just showing up was doing you a favor. Probably thought I'll just play on my phone and get a free dinner out of it. Some people. I asked her out. She said you. When every conversation is abruptly ended by lol. Or haha. Any one word response really. Closed responses to leading or intuitive chatter. For example, just saying yes. No. Not really. etc. When asked questions that could easily lead to more conversation. The sad thing is my boyfriend in high school was like that with me because he liked me so much he got nervous and couldn't figure out what to say. We flirted for several weeks. Hung out every day. I kept feeling a closer and closer connection, but due to circumstances I could not control we were never alone enough together for me to test it. Had some friends plan a camping trip and I invited her and she said yes. I even specifically told her there's gonna be 2 couples there, so we're gonna be in a tent, just the 2 of us. She said yeah, she knows. Get to the trip. We have a few drinks and I ask her if she wants to take a walk with me to look at stars. I get it. It's corny. Shut up. Once we're a little away from everyone, I tell her how much I like her and attempt to go in for a kiss. Nope. Sorry Chips Conquizo. I'm not what you're looking for, shattered me. Utterly gutted. AWW sheet. But hey, at least you tried. When I expressed interest and she recoiled in horror and told me I was embarrassing her. Recoiled in horror, mayo. That's rough though, man. She said I'm not ready to be in a relationship. And proceeds to get into a relationship. RIP me. I hope she's happy though. I really do. She left out the with you part. I once went on a date with this girl. Bought her dinner. Went downstairs to the bar nightclub for a drink afterwards. She ran into some girlfriends and just went over to their table. Sat down and started chatting and drinking. I sat alone for about 20 minutes. Then just left without saying anything. Never heard from her again. I can't imagine what I would do in this situation for 20 minutes. That's so rude of her. I asked for her number and she offered to give me her email address instead. If you were a stranger, that's not unreasonable. I only give my number to doctors, family, and friends. I didn't realize until I asked her out. We had been talking and hanging out for a few months. She and I had matching personalities and we were both more energetic around each other than around others. I had a massive crush and I felt like taking a chance, so I told her I liked her. And she said, damn. I'm really sorry. I feel we're better off as friends. I guess I didn't realize she wasn't into me until she said as such. I moped for a while before finally being able to have a shit happens attitude towards it. Nowadays she's happily with someone. Our friendship has faded away. Which is actually more upsetting than being rejected romantically. I'm still single. But I'm happily single, so it's alright. If I ever feel that feeling again, I will always take that risk. Edit. Reading all the replies. I still have a lot to learn and digest. I appreciate everyone's input. I have no idea why you're getting such bad advice in your replies. Just continue being you. Okay? Caught her making out with my manager. She pulled out a knife and tried to kill me. I wanna know the backstory. Asked a girl out and she said I can't, it's my girlfriend's and I 2-month anniversary. She is straight BTW. I wouldn't want to go on a date with someone who has such poor grammar either. I just assume by default that people do not like me. When they are nice and warm to me, I assume that's out of their courtesy. I assume I suck too much to have anyone feel that way towards me. So they're just being nice. By the way, I'm not depressed or anything. To the guy who was worried for my mental health, thanks for your concern. But I'm fine. I only assume I suck when it comes to other people's views of me in terms of love and stuff. In almost every other aspect I think I'm pretty okay. She kept talking about how she needed more commitment from me. Relationship had turned long distance. I was paying for the travel and doing the majority of the traveling. I was the one that had moved away. Sustained it for about a year. But I just realized that she wasn't into me enough to take what she perceived as a risk in moving 5-hour drive away from her family. Never spoke about her needing to show commitment to me. Think what finally did it was when she got a raise to similar to what I was making and I brought up her starting to contribute to the travel costs. And she laughed like it was a joke. I clarified I was serious and she brushed it off. Nope. I'm out. Stuck around longer than I should have. Was her first serious relationship. Which in retrospect I think was a big factor in some of the immaturity. A close friend of several years, who I had a bit of a crush on, had been single for a while, as had I. One day, she called me on the phone out of the blue and said, "I'm so horny. Want to drive up and we'll duck like buggers?" Exclamation point. Up. Why? Yes. Now that you mention it, yes I do. But she lived a 5-hour drive away. And I had to work. So I worked. Then hopped into the car the next morning. Drove up for a visit. We hugged. Went straight to her bed. But I was getting less than a sense of full enthusiasm. Still, she seemed game. Then, as we just began to start, a few kisses. Hand under the shirt. She started crying. Now, here's a little hint to all you guys out there. If she starts to cry, she's not happy. So, naturally, I put the brakes on and say, hey, what's going on? And she's not into it. Yes, she's lonely. Desperately lonely. But I'm a friend. Not a potential lover. She likes me. But she's not into me that way. But here's the thing. She's still game to go through with it, because I drove 5 hours. After all. No chance. She's not into it. Then I'm not into it. We hugged. Went out for dinner. Had a great time. I slept on her couch for the next few days of the visit. Curiously, that same visit, she hooked me up with a friend of hers, who I dated happily for 6 months until the 5-hour commute wore it down. TLDR, she started crying. Guys, when she's crying, it's time to call it. Oh man, so many points. 1. Didn't attend my graduation even though mine and hers was like 2 hours difference. I waited for her for 4 hours just so that I could hand a bouquet of flowers to her since before her sister's graduation. She told me she has never received flowers before, so I got it for her. She told me that night that it was an unforgettable memory. 2. I posted an Insta story saying that it's my birthday and she didn't even bother to wish me. I attended her birthday party and wished her a happy birthday every year since I've known her. 3. She sets up a date. I got all excited, and on the day itself, I reminded her in the morning saying I'm looking forward to the date. She replied with, oh no, it's today. I totally forgot about it. NGL. It totally broke my heart. 4. Kept on calling me baby. And just generally stringing me along. Only time she would initiate a text is if she needs help. I was in love with her for the past 4 years. Finally cut off all communications and face-to-face meetings. Never felt better in years. Sorry for the long rant. Edit. Wow, 300 upvotes. You guys are ducking awesome, you beautiful human beings. Never would have thought ranting about me being a dumbass would get me so far, haha. Edit number 2. Seriously? 1.3k upvotes? Never imagined my most upvoted comment is about me getting crushed, haha. Thanks for all the support and comments. Each and every one of you are amazing. Don't ever forget that. She started talking about how she was interested in another guy. Pretty clear and harmful way. I was interested in a guy and he started a loud conversation near me, not with me, about all the things he found attractive in a girl, all the exact opposite of my attributes, height, hair color, etc. It was kinda crushing, but at least I didn't have to deal with it head on. Also, I have to tell this because it's hilarious and I know for a fact it's true. A girl I know was dating a guy who turned out to be married. The wife found out but stayed with the husband. So the guy gets in a car accident and the side chick girl calls to see if he's okay. The dude tells her he has amnesia and doesn't remember her and he's with his wife now. Homeboy done said he got amnesia to get rid of the side chick. The ol' getting in a car accident and faking amnesia to get rid of someone. Can only use that one once. We had been fooling around for a bit and I had hopes of pursuing a relationship. She knew I had an app that I wouldn't be using that summer, college, and she needed a place to store some things. After a date I brought her back to my place for the first time and she quietly said, "This will do nicely." And I had a realization that I had been played. She stored her stuff for a bit and I have barely seen her since. Can I have time to think about it? Then nothing. Radio silence for like a month. Next time we talked it's as if that moment never happened. I've had every rejection under the sun used on me. Laughter. Straight up no. coming up with an excuse halfway through the date to leave. Being ghosted. It's not you, it's me. etc. One even claimed that she liked me but her parents didn't approve of me so nothing could happen. Only to find out later that her parents actually thought I was great and would repeatedly ask her about me. In that case I think she just wanted sex and nothing more, which I should have seen from the start. But that one. Can I have time to think about it? Damn. I'm over it now. But I'll never forget how much it hurt. When they couldn't remember any conversation we previously had. And made the excuse that their phone's text history resets every day. Didn't take a rocket surgeon to figure out she deleted them herself. I said, hello, and she just looked at me with a blank stare. When I feel like I have to constantly be the one that has to start the conversation. That it takes so long for them to answer. Or worse, that they sometimes don't answer at all. I can sometimes get the conversation going again in that last case. But if it happens 2 or 3 more times, I'm usually done. It's pretty clear to me. Other cases, she shows a clear interest to someone else. Or starts dating someone else. And this has happened to me so many times. I guess I'm not that good at online chatting, texting. Or not interesting at all. Or that I don't know when it's time to be more direct. After chatting for about a month, I asked her out, for the second time. Wanna meet up and hang out somewhere? Yeah. I'd like to meet. Cool. So are you free this day on this week? No. How about another day next week? No. So maybe the week after? Or after that? No. Can't. Okay. So when can we meet? Let me check and get back to you. 10 months. 4 days and 5 hours since then and I still haven't heard from her. Removed. When I remembered that I am me. Made a few errors in judgment as a kid. Got rejected. And figured out the difference between friendly and flirty. In my case. When we hang out. I tried so damn hard to entertain. To keep the flow of the conversation. She was just focused on other stuff and seems distant. When we ran into her friend while on a walk and she introduced me as her friend. She then asked me what I thought of us and then proceeded to explain how she was still hung up over her ex and not ready for a relationship. She enjoyed being friends and still wanted to do that. But wanted to be clear that's all she could do. It was the first time a woman was ever direct with me instead of suddenly not answering my texts. I told her I respected her for that and she apologized for women everywhere for ghosting so much. I didn't try to date anyone for many years after that. Her direct response changed my outlook on looking for a spouse, in a positive way. I used to work with 2 girls in an auto shop years ago. Was really into one of them. I asked her out. She said maybe another time and I'll let it go. But still had hope. A few weeks later I had to come back to work as I'd forgotten my wallet. The 2 women that worked there were passionately making out. I then realized that as a les this girl was quite pen 15 averse and my hopes of another time were quickly dashed into oblivion. When after a year of relationship she said I don't love you anymore. Yeah. That may be it. Deleted. When? After I got her number and were texting regularly for several days. She refused to go out with me because I'm too put together to be single. And I must be cheating on my wife and kids. I told her that I'm single. Never married. And have 0 kids. She followed that up by accusing me of being a serial killer. I also don't eat cereal. When she slept with my friend. And then a different friend. Pretty sure she's single with a kid from each of them. But I think she wanted kids, so. Guess she's happy and I dodged a bullet. The second she said okay. I asked a girl I really fancied out in primary school once. I was about 9 and 10. As well as saying no, she gave me a whole list of reasons why. She didn't like my hair. I was weird etc. On one hand this was brilliant because I got over her instantly. On the other hand it tucked me up a bit because I've assumed in the 20 years since that all girls feel the same. You'd be shocked at how many girls said they were into me after they started dating someone else. I totally had a thing for you. Wish you had asked me out lol. Yeah, well, I'm not good at hints. Tried to kiss her. WH, what are you doing? She invited me as her date to a New Year's party. It was midnight.